All right. Good morning. I just would like to say good morning. Thank you for tuning in. You are tuned to the Madam Prezident Morning Show. For those of you that are on Instagram, this is a show that I do daily, 9:30 a.m. Eastern, Monday through Friday, and I do it on YouTube. So if you are currently tuned on for Instagram, you should hop on YouTube. This is where the conversation is actually happening. I personally am Madam President with a Z. I am from the inner city of Chicago, but I reside in Atlanta. So if you in ATL, make some noise. You know what we do every single day. We got a pretty good show talking about Gen Z getting fired more frequently than others. Amazon's $4 million settlement and Georgia's tidal pond crackdown. So those are the things that kind of stuck out to me today. I can go on and on talking about what's happening politically, but we know where we are politically. And yeah, that's not going to change. But before I go any further, let me play my theme song really quickly because I have not... All right. I enjoy that song. Every time I hear it, it gives me like this little warm feeling in my heart. Because Black people are so talented. And I think sometimes we are so miraculously talented that we just have this tendency to not even understand all the magic that we had. All the magic that we have. It's just like we just be walking around singing songs, humming. It's like, you a singer. You know, you see kids, they just running around, flipping. You are a gymnast, you know. So I have the tendency to have just a lot of compassion for talent. That's just number one. Also, my girl Linda's in the building. What's up, Linda? I appreciate you. Every single day I look forward to seeing you. We got a guy here. What's up? He says he's from Pasadena, California. That's what I'm talking about, Pasadena. I want to say, what's that girl who say you live in Pasadena, California? Oh, he got money. I enjoy Pasadena, California. I've been a few times. I worked in California, so I've spent some time in Pasadena as well. It's very beautiful. Before we go any further, you know what we do. Before I move along, I have to say a quick prayer because it's essential, it's important. So first of all, I just want to say, Heavenly Father, thank you so much. We appreciate you for waking us up today. We look to you for all things. You know what's in our heart. You know the peace that is required for us to function. You know what is before us. You know every challenge, every hardship. You know everything that's in the crevice under the spirit that no man knows. You know every single thing, and the Creator knows. We come to you with all of our burdens. We love you. We appreciate you. Guide us. Be the light that we need to be. In your name we pray. Amen. He said, I work. That's important. We got to make sure we say our prayer every single day, because who are we without God's grace? Okay. Who are we without the Creator? Who are we? We are absolutely nothing. Okay. That's just number one. So can we just get into what's happening right now? I know a lot of people are still talking about the Super Bowl, but I want to get into what's happening as it relates to Black folks. This particular thing, I want you to check out what's happening with Gen Z really quickly. Everybody is talking about that they don't want to hire Gen Z. People are saying that they are too much of this, too much of that. They are I don't want to use the word lazy, but they do not enjoy coming to work on time. Their communication skills are very, very poor. And then not to mention, they just don't have the work ethic that most older people have. So a lot of people are tired of hiring Gen Z. I think I'm a millennial, so people probably had the same sentiment about us as well, that were older, but we end up figuring it out. And I want to play this video for you right here. Let me pull it up, share this screen. All right, y'all know I'm the engineer of this, so be patient with me. So let's
not be hiring Gen Z candidates. Apparently, they've been firing Gen Z recent graduates. They've been firing them at an all-time high rate, citing these issues: lack of initiative, unprofessional behavior, frequent lateness, disorganization, poor communication, and they're struggling to manage their workload properly. According to recent studies,
let's just deal with the simple facts right here. They say that Gen Z, they're struggling. I did a video on this myself, and let me show you really quickly. I talked about this because I saw this article and I thought it was pretty good. I'm not sure if you follow me on social media, but you should be. I'm pretty exciting sometimes. But this is what I want to tell you about Gen Z. I believe that Gen Z they have a whole new world. When we were growing up, we did not have social media. That is having an effect on how people want to work. Also, I would like to highlight that I wholeheartedly believe that young people, they do not understand the middle. Social media promotes this unrealistic expectation of life. All you see is people living their best life. All you see is people living lavish. That's not the reality of a country like America. The CEO and the person who's working 3 tiers under the CEO don't have the exact same lifestyle. They don't have the exact same income. So I believe that one of the things that social media promotes is it promotes an illusion of what is reality. So a lot of young people are disconnected from reality. So they want the paycheck because we all know that getting paid is a good thing, but they don't want to do the work that is required to get paid. They just want to be paid. So that's one of the things that I believe a lot of young people kind of forget. That it's like, oh yeah, I want a nice apartment. I want to drive a nice car. I want to, live well. Well, you have to do 2 things. You have to have some money, you have to have a product or a service, or you have to clock in. You have got to have something. Now, if you inherited wealth from your mother or your father, then that changes everything. Then your trajectory is not the same as others. You do not have to clock in. You can find another path. But what's happening is some people, they have the support, but your parents can't support you forever if you're not going to do what is required to help yourself. I heard a comedian say this once. He says that if you ever want to see somebody help you, just look at the side of the road method for a tire. If you are in your car and you have a flat tire and no one sees you, they're going to continue to ride past you up and down the highway. But if you are out of your car, changing the tire, people may have the tendency to stop and ask, hey man, do you need some help? That's the exact same thing with young people. You have got to give people something to work with. You are hireable. You are intelligent. You are capable. But social media will convince you that you're supposed to live in the penthouse suite and you don't supposed to have, you don't supposed to work for it. And don't get me started, because I can really go into the aspect of young women having this idea that they can just get them a baller and they can just date an NFL player and an NBA player that's going to some kind of way be like, I want to take care of you, and it's just like, no, you have got to put in the actual work, whatever that is for you. Be creative. But yeah, so that's the thing what's happening with Gen Z. I did a video on Madam President's Instagram. I was looking for it, not really sure where it is, so that I can show you all that I had my own video for Gen Z, to kind of give them some form of awareness on ways and tips to move forward, in this big old world. Another thing I will say really quickly before I move on to the next thing is that when I was, what young people don't understand is that when you're young, people connect with you because you are young. People want to help you because you are young. Don't ruin it. Don't be late. Don't be lazy. Don't have any enthusiasm. And in fact, I'm going to get excited about this. You are way too young to lack excitement about life. You're just too young to lack excitement. You're 24, 25, 27. You're supposed to have the idea today is my day. Anything is possible today. I can go anywhere today. I can meet anybody today. But if you are going to allow social media to bog you down, to make you feel devalued, to not have any confidence in yourself, then yes, you're going to be depressed, coming in late, not understanding how systems work. In fact, you should be looking around. You should be going into the office early, looking around. Hey, how can I improve this place? And guess what? I'm going to tell you something that a lot of people won't tell you, and that is leave these companies earlier. Sometimes you're boggled down to a place where there is no elevation. You got to understand what you desire and then start moving accordingly. You are young. You're 32. You can move anywhere in the world. You should say, hey, I'm going to Thailand next year. I'm going to Jamaica next year. I'm going to figure out how to make my stamp on the world. Sometimes it bothers me for young people to be so young with so much possibility, and then you stifle. You're bored. The world is yours. You can come up with anything. Figure out how to make a cup. Figure out, hey, I'm going to make pens. I'm going to be a part of this world. This is why I'm really, just always on young Black people's ass, like back pockets. And that's because it is so easily for you to get 10 years in prison. It's easy for you to have, 2 baby daddies without accomplishing your dreams. So yes, if I'm going to offend you and you think I'm judging you so that you never have to stand before a judge, I'll do just that. So if my offense is going to help you accomplish a dream, I hope to offend you. If my offense is going to help you have protected sex, then I hope to offend you, because that's what's important. I don't want us to be feeling as if that everything is happening to us and we have no control over our outcome. That is not the reality. So let me move on, because obviously I've hit a sweet spot and I'm giving more gems than people give me credit for, so I'll drop my own bombs like I'm an engineer. Also, I'd like to say that the next thing is Amazon. I thought this was an interesting story because a lot of these companies, they're just beyond greedy. Amazon is a multi-billion-dollar company, probably close to trillion. And, they have the tendency to be dishonest and unfair to its own employees. So I'm going to read to you what this article is currently saying, okay? Right here, I'm pulling it up. All right, so Amazon has agreed to pay $4 million to settle a lawsuit accusing the e-commerce giant of taking tips customers left for delivery drivers. So you mean to tell me Amazon's stealing? You see, they make it all cute, but a thief is a thief and theft is theft, no matter how you slice it. So it says Amazon has agreed to pay nearly $4 million to settle charges that the e-commerce company subsidized its labor costs by taking tips its delivery drivers received from customers. This is sad. District of Columbia Attorney General Brian Schwab said Friday, the settlement came 4 years after Amazon forked over $61.7 million to resolve a complaint the Federal Trade Commission brought over similar accusations. In 2022, the Office of DC's Attorney General at the time followed up with a lawsuit alleging Amazon violated the district's consumer protection laws by misleading residents about how tips paid digitally were used. This should piss you off. This is unethical. This is what bothers me. If I was stealing people's money, there would be bloggers all over saying black girl YouTuber, black girl such and such stole money from black people, stole money. It would be non-stop. But because it's white man owned Amazon, oh, it's nothing. They're wrong. This is what they do. Burn this shit down. Burn it down. This is unreasonable. This is no reason. There is no reason this should be the case. Okay. All right. According to the lawsuit, the affected drivers were part of Amazon's Flex business, which allows people to deliver Amazon packages with their own cars. DC's lawsuit said that after launching the program in 2015, the companies represented to consumers that all tips added during checkout for Amazon Flex orders would go to drivers. So let me just say this. Amazon lied. Amazon lied. I'm going to say it again. In fact, if you are here, put it in the chat. Put in the chat, Amazon lied. Amazon lied. Amazon is a liar. This is what concerns me the most, is because as a driver, if a person is driving for Amazon, they're under the impression that they're getting a tip or not, right? And they don't get it. They're under the impression that, hey, I got that thing. And I'm going to say this, I'm going to tie this even into some form of romance. If a man told his wife or a woman told her husband, hey, I'm driving Amazon, I'm going to get that money to you on Friday. I'm going to get the extra tips that I have. I'm going to bring it to you. I promise, right? They're going to fall out and have a big old fight because Amazon lied. But then the couple has to deal with the lies. You know, women say, oh, you told Trayvon you was going to bring his gym shoes and you ain't bring those shoes. But Amazon lied. You ain't going to stop dealing with Amazon. So why you going to stop dealing with him? Because the money didn't come through. This is the point that I'm making, that we as a people have to understand when the system is the problem. The system is creating spaces where people don't have healthy income. And we're beating each other down. Oh, you don't have this, and you don't have that, and you lost this. But you won't stop Jeff Bezos from buying his third plane. You won't stop Jeff Bezos from buying, another island. But you'll stop a man from seeing his kids because he couldn't bring the cake. Because Amazon lied. Because Amazon is a liar. That's my point. We hard on one another. Then we go around and be soft on the companies. We're hard on each other, but then we go around and have patience toward the lying-ass trillion-dollar company. This is ridiculous. This is unnecessary. He never had to lie. They never had to get tips from customers if they knew that they were never going to give the drivers the tips. This is what, Anyways, moving on. We got to find another entity to support besides Amazon, because I know that it's quick, it's fast. It answers a lot of people's problems. You need something, Amazon can get it to you in 48 hours. But do we have the potential to have the ability to compete? Can somebody else build something to compete? Temu is from, China. Shein, they're not even here in this country. As Americans, can we compete? Can somebody create a competitor within this country? So I'm moving on to the next subject matter. And this particular story, I thought it was kind of like, it's very unfortunate, but it just goes to show you how all of the companies and corporations have support. Meanwhile, the people do not. So look at this story right here. This particular story is a story of a pawn shop If you can see it, type pawn in the chat. Yeah, if you can see it, type pawn in the chat. I want to make sure that you all can see it because it says an 80-year-old Georgia woman borrowed $6K from a title pawn shop and paid back $5K. She now owes over $11,000 because of the extremely high interest rate. So it says, Atlanta, a new bill proposed this week at the General Assembly would tighten regulations on title pawn companies in Georgia. Right now, because they claim to be pawn shops and not lenders, title pawns are exempt from the state's rules and laws regulating lending and capping interest rates consumers can be charged. DeKalb County resident Mary Glass, an 80-year-old woman, has already paid nearly $5,000 back towards the $6,000 she borrowed from the Title Max last year. But that has only grown. Her interest rate is 152%. She now owes $11,000. What? 152%? 152. I can't get it out of my head. 152%. But let me just tell you all something. This is another form of old. You know, when we were buying homes back in the day, that's how they were selling us homes. They didn't want us to buy the homes. But when blacks decided that they were going to become homeowners, that's what the banks were doing. They were charging us over astronomical amount of interest for homes to the point that we would just pay them over 30 years, but we would never own them. So, you know, I would like to say that I am surprised, but I am not surprised. Am I disappointed? Absolutely. Predatory lending. Let's talk about it. Who gets the most predatory lending? Poor Black people. I repeat, who gets the most predatory lending? Poor Black people. They charge poor Black people so much money to cash the check, so much money. You know, when you are in an emergency need, and this is why it's so important for us to really be in tune as a people and as a family. If my 80-year-old grandmother needs $5,000, then it becomes our responsibility. Mama, what you need $5,000 for? That's number one. And number two, you know, we're the young people in the family, which means that we're responsible for the elders in the family. Y'all don't want to deal with that dynamic because they the ones still got their money intact because they were growing at a time that, you know, obviously we wasn't. But all that to say that we are family. So if 80-year-old grandmother got to get $5,000, the question is why? Now, I ain't trying to be, you know, giving y'all a hard time, but I will say grandmama and them is always helping out their grandkids. If I can probably guarantee you she needed $5K for one of them kids, you know, so the reality is we have to work together. We should not have to go into these predatory lending spaces when we can borrow from one another. We can have a system where we pay into a pot. And when a person is in an emergency need, they pull it out and bring it back. And we work together as a collective. But guess what it's going to require? This is something that I thought about and I've written down. It's going to require honesty. You can't be sneaky. You can't be the sneaky link, linking up with the money. No, you got to talk about what your plan is with the money. You got to talk about what you need the money for. So, and when people borrow money from you as a person, you say, well, this is my money. I don't have to tell you what I need it for. If you got it, you got it. Now, why would you do that to a human? When you go to Bank of America, they want to know what you're getting the loan for. When you go to Chase, they want to know what you're getting the money for. But you want to go to your mother and your father, your cousin and your sister, and you believe that you don't supposed to tell them what the money is for. Yeah, we got a lot of things twisted. And this is one of the reasons that we're going to constantly be in such a deficit because unity is a requirement. And this online, one of my Instagram people says that I told my family this, we need an emergency fund. Yes, we do, as a family. I'm going to tell you something. Sandra Bland, when she was locked up, she needed $500. $500. The family, nobody in the family could give her $500. They had to have her wait. I don't have it, Sandy. That's what they said. I watched the documentary. Now, I want to be respectful and make sure that you all understand that I am not passing judgment on Sandra Bland's family. I'm just speaking the reality that some of the demise that we have is an economic issue as well. These social issues that we run into also are aligned with economic disenfranchisement, economic disadvantage, and that needs to alter too. But the reality is, if we are not going to be a people that have a value to unity, have a value to the dollar, I see people all the time online talking about, and this is something that's I don't understand either with the young generation, the Gen Zs. They see somebody who make $100,000 a year. They talking about that ain't no money. Since when? What? Women online talking about he got to make 6 figures. Have you made 6 figures? Have you accomplished that? Have you done it? Because I can tell you ain't no way that it's easy to just automatically make 6 figures. And I'm speaking from a person who has been in 6 figures and needs 6 on top of that. Shit. So I'm speaking from a factual place that, money come, money go. And you got to get some more. You got to get some more. And so I think that as a people, if we can get some of our social challenges under control, then we can also control our wealth. Some of our behavior is so demeaning. Some of our behavior is so poverty-stricken that we don't understand that we will never see wealth. Wealth is not just about you got a check. Wealth is also about I have a check. I have the health to live with the check. I have mental stability to enjoy the check. My children can enjoy the check. We are, I won't get into this, but you know what I'm saying. So all I have to say is these are the current elements of what's happening today. Gen Z, they got a lot to work on. Amazon is a problem, and I hope that they fix it really quickly, because too many people work for this company and they have to do better. Some of their not just practices, it's just unethical, unfair to the American people that work for them. But of course, like I said, we get mad at each other, but we don't do anything to the people of Amazon. So all that to say, guys, I really appreciate you tune into the Madam Prezident Morning Show. I really was talking a lot using my hands, so I didn't get a chance to change my banner. I apologize. I would like to try to change my banner so you all can know exactly what you tuned into. This is the Madam Prezident Morning Show, but this show is also brought to you by FlyNubianMoney.com. I repeat, FlyNubianMoney.com. You should check out FlyNubianMoney.com if you want to get your money up. You should text Queens to 87948. If you want to learn, if you want to educate yourself, text Queens. If you want to keep up with Madam President, text Madam to 87948. If you want to keep up with Madam President, text Madam to 87948. I do this every day, Monday through Friday on YouTube, 9:30 Eastern. I appreciate you very much for tuning in with me. I appreciate you for taking the time to spend your mornings with me. I hope that you all have a good day, and I will see you tomorrow. It's Wednesday. I'm probably going to do a live recording for you for Friday. I'm traveling to Europe, so I'll see you soon. All right, make sure you follow me on social media platforms. I appreciate you, and have a good day.